What's up, y'all? Warbucks in the house, and you are now tuned into the Real Review. And today we're gonna talk about Christopher Nolan, man. We're gonna be ranking all of his movies, with the exception of the following, because I haven't seen that yet. I It's been on my watch list for a while. I just haven't made time to sit down and really watch the following. It's always been something I wanted to watch. Film of his, the one before all the other ones. So we're gonna be ranking all his movies today. We're gonna be talking about Christopher Nolan. Had to do it since the Odyssey just dropped. It's only right to go through his whole filmography. Christopher Nolan is Timothy when it comes to this film stuff. When it comes to writing, directing, he's really a big dog. And of course, shout out to Jonathan Nolan, who wrote the story for a lot of the movies that Christopher Nolan would take those stories, that's his little brother, and flip it and make these, pretty dope movies out of them that were very creatively thought of and everything. And so, I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan, man. I think he's either the GOAT or he's like high up there. I mean, man, I gotta give it to him, man. It's quality over quantity with him. He didn't drop like a whole plethora of films like maybe Steven Spielberg, but when you look at the ratio of all the movies that he's done over the years and how good they were in comparison to his great or really good movies, Christopher Nolan been knocking it out of the park. More, 9 times out of 10, he's been killing it. So I'm excited to talk about all these movies, man. This is I've been a big fan of him for a while. We're gonna go ahead and get into the ranking. Remember, excluding the following. And so coming in at number 12 of the Christopher Nolan movies is the movie Insomnia. Man, what a movie. And you know what? I just found this out recently that this is like probably the only movie of his that he did not write the screenplay for. You know what I'm saying? So he did a good job with this. Starring Robin Williams and Al Pacino. They both did a great job acting. He did a great job directing it. And you can kind of tell he didn't write this movie because it doesn't have a lot of the, Christopher Nolan has a specific style that he kind of does and brings to a lot of his films. And this is probably, I guess, like the only film that doesn't really, it's not Christopher Nolan-esque, you know what I'm saying? But this is still a good movie, really good watch, dark, character study type of film. I really enjoyed this movie. It has like a really good kind of twist on it where you got, you got Al Pacino trying to, protect himself, but at the same time trying to catch a killer and trying to prevent the killer from getting caught at the same. Like it's crazy. Like, cause I remember Robin Williams' character bribing Al Pacino, cause Al Pacino, was an insomniac. He couldn't really sleep. He was living, I think, in like Antarctica, one of these places that don't, they get the sun a lot of times in the year, and he would have all his walls covered up, but he couldn't sleep because he went out on a job to chase after the killer, and he made a mistake and shot the wrong person. I think he accidentally shot his partner and killed him. And I think his partner already had some stuff on him, or something was going on with him and his partner already. within the movie. So like everything, the motive, everything just kind of pointed to him. And I think this movie also is starring Hillary, is it Swanson? I don't know why I'm thinking like Hillary Swanson or Hillary Swank. Um, I can't think of her last name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. She was like the pupil of Al Pacino in the movie. She was like really looked up to him, and she was like a small town cop, and she was learning from him, and she was in $1 Million Baby. You know what I'm saying? Great. Yeah, she did a great job in $1 Million Baby. She's a really good actress. But yeah. Really good movie. Like I said, psychological, kind of a character study. Yeah, it was just a really good movie. Robin Williams played a really great villain in that movie. And so, but yeah. This might be the movie that comes in last place, but Christopher Nolan's worst movies are a lot better than a lot of the director's best movies. So, coming in at number 11 on the Christopher Nolan ranking movies, number 11 of top 12 is The Dark Knight Rises. This movie gets a lot of hate. It does. And it may not be a perfect movie. I mean, that's why it's number 11 out of the 12 ranking. But it's a really good movie still. It's really great, really easy watch. Has some really great twists in it. The twist that old girl ended up being Talia al Ghul the whole movie. Christopher Nolan did a great job doing his research on the comic book character of Bruce Wayne, because in the comic book, Batman or Bruce Wayne goes off and marries Talia al Ghul in one of the comics, and I think he marries Catwoman in one of the comics. And so for him to bring that whole little love triangle into The Dark Knight Rises, did a really good job with that. I did not see that coming. Making her the daughter of Ra's al Ghul, connected back to Batman Begins, even giving us a Robin without Robin within the movie, I thought was really dope. And I through my homework and research, I believe the studio had basically like was trying to force him to put a Robin in the movie, and so he didn't want to bring in Robin, so he kind of gave them a little what they wanted while still getting what he wanted, and he did a good job with that. But yeah, Christopher Nolan did a really good job. The only thing was at the end he made his name Robin. That was kind of like he should have, gave him one of the, the classic Robin names. That way the comic. It'll be like a calling card for the comic book fans to really recognize, oh shoot, that's Dick Grayson. You know what I'm saying? He should have just did that instead of giving him the name Robin. But it is what it is. The fight scene between Batman and Bane where he broke his back, because he broke his back in the comic book. Great fight scene. Really enjoyed this movie, man. I get it. There's some funny things about it, like the voice of Bane in the movie. Tom Hardy, all in all, I think he still did a really great job, even with that voice. I really didn't have a problem with the voice like that. I mean, it's a funny, weird voice. Even Batman's voice was like really dark and kind of aggressive in the movie as well. Not so much in the first movie, but the second movie, it seemed a little over the top. I think by the third movie, that toned it down a bit again. It wasn't as aggressive, loud, and weird. But I ain't gonna say weird, but it was just like, I don't know. He sounded like the devil or something, like a demon from hell. But I mean, I guess they were just trying to make him more scary sounding, but they didn't need to go more intense than they did in the first movie. But But anyway, so The Dark Knight Rises coming in number 11. Again, you know what I'm saying? Maybe not the best movie, but I would say Insomnia, Dark Knight Rises, even though they're like the last two in the ranking, they're still like really good movies, bro. You know, his worst is better than a lot of directors' best. Christopher Nolan is that dude, man. So, The Dark Knight Rises has a lot of great highlights. Anne Hathaway was great as the Catwoman in that movie. She killed it, bodied the acting. I didn't know that there was some hate or people thinking that was a bad casting, but they ended up regretting it watching the movie. And so, but yeah. Dark Knight Rises, the intro scene, the plane was really, really dope. Yeah, man, just a really good movie. I actually really enjoyed it. And I love that it gave Batman a happy ending. Bruce Wayne a happy ending, not Batman. So, but yeah, so coming in at number 10 on the Christopher Nolan movies, the ranking. Coming in at number 10 on the list is Interstellar. You know, starring Matthew McConaughey. This is a really good movie. And I know a lot of y'all probably are very upset at the fact that this movie is so low on the ranking, and it probably should be top 3, number 1, number 5, whatever y'all think it should be. Me personally, I did really enjoy this movie. I thought this was a really good movie, but it can't really compare to a lot of his other movies to me. I didn't think Interstellar was as great as everybody held it to be. That's just my personal opinion. So I know this is one of those really, really loved films. And even though it is a really good film, has a lot of great emotional depth into it. It was, very well written, directed, acted. Matthew McConaughey killed it. Everybody brought it in this movie. And it was beautifully shot. Oh man, the cinematography, just some really great camera work and space work done. The Matt Damon popping up in the middle of the movie was so unexpected. I was like, yo, what the heck, Matt Damon? He was in no trailers or nothing, which I probably maybe watched the teaser. But, one thing about Christopher Nolan, he's really good at making trailers and teasers that don't really reveal a lot. So I could really slick watch his movies and trailers. Because, if you don't know by now, this is your first time tuning in to the real review. I don't really watch movies and I don't really watch trailers. No, I don't. I might do a little bit of homework, just a tiny bit. Like I might go to IMDb, read the bio on the movie, see who directed it, see who wrote it, compare them to other movies they've written and directed that I've seen. If I like them, there are a lot of times I'll go check out the movie. I'm like, oh, this is an action movie, this is a comedy, this is a drama. Ooh, okay, that plot speaks to me. That's kind of how I find my films and go watch them. Ones that aren't sequels or, part of a universe that's currently going. That's kind of how I find my movies. But yeah, Interstellar, man, top tier movie, coming in at number 10. I know a lot of y'all are probably like, man, mad as heck right now because y'all are like, yo, you got Interstellar way too low, and there's a lot of the movies you probably should have had under that. But that's just my personal opinion, man. This is my personal list of my ranking of the Nolan films. So number 9 is Batman Begins. Really good movie. I'm a huge Batman fan, and I really loved Batman Begins. I thought giving Batman the fear of bats, or Bruce Wayne the fear of bats at the beginning of the movie, and making that something he had to overcome in his character, and then using bats as the symbol to strike fear into the hearts of the villains in Gotham City. I thought that was a really dope, creative thing to add to the movie that I don't think that was. It may have been in some of the comic book series. I'm not exactly sure. But I had never heard of that before. Nobody's ever mentioned that or put that in any other origins that I've ever seen. So I thought that was a dope addition to his character in the first movie. Um, I love that he went all out, found Ra's al Ghul, and got trained by him. And I love the twist that it ended up being Liam Neeson. That was really, really dope. I just thought that was really, really dope writing by Christopher Nolan, man. And Christian Bale did a really great job as Batman. That was our first time seeing him as Batman. I really liked the new twist on the Batmobile with the rocket blast out car. I thought that was really, really dope. Yeah, man, Batman Begins is a really, really good movie. Batman is my favorite superhero, by the way. So, you probably thinking, why you got Batman Begins over Interstellar? Hey, man, I just love Batman, and I think that this is probably one of the best Batman. I mean, no, it is. It's the best Batman series or trilogy, whatever you want to call it, that we've gotten of Batman. Knocked it clean out the park. Great trilogy. And so, coming in at number 8, I got The Prestige. Another really, really good movie. I would say Interstellar, Batman Begins, and The Prestige. Even the movie Tenet, I would say were all like 9-star Christopher Nolan movies, 9 out of 10s. Love these movies. The Prestige is a really good movie, man. Starring Christian Bale. Just a really, really great movie. Great acting, by Christian Bale. And just, man, like, really great twist throughout the movie. I love the whole twin twist. I love the whole play on magic. Magic is something I've always really kind of loved as a kid, being into sci-fi things, being into comic book things. Magic kind of is in that same realm of making, the impossible possible. And so, I really enjoyed this movie. I think Christopher Nolan really knocked this out the park. And you know what? We don't really see a lot of really great magic movies in the film world. So to see this type of movie being made, I really, really enjoyed it. Hugh Jackman starred in the movie as well. He did a great job acting. I really enjoyed this movie. Just really great writing and really great story. Very dark, very, very well done. Man. Really great movie, man. Number 8 on our Christopher Nolan ranking of movies is The Prestige. But now we about to get into number 7. Tenet, starring John David Washington, Denzel Washington's son. Um, yeah, man, this is a real hated movie. I know a lot of people probably thinking I should have made it number 12, number 11. This movie gets a lot of hate, but John David Washington, he got a lot of hate as a star of this movie as well. But I personally, I didn't think he was dry. He brought a little bit of comedy and personality to some of the dialogue in the movie, some of the scenes. I honestly feel like he improvised some of that. I don't even know if that was, I don't think all that was scripted. In certain scenes, he would say certain things that were kind of comical. Kind of remind me of like James Bond when he would talk slick to the villains when he got in the room with them. That's the kind of vibe that John David Washington brought to that character. This movie starts off so Dark Knight. I mean, I said Dark Knight, but I meant Christopher Nolan. But yeah, it's kind of like the score at the beginning of Tenet was given very Dark Knight. Like it was the production just sounded like the Dark Knight Rises or the Dark Knight in the very tense scenes of the movie. I really enjoyed this movie, man. Tenet gets so much hate, but it's such a really great concept of creating time travel by going in revert, going backwards. That's the way to time travel. And so I thought that was a really cool concept, putting a spin on the time travel thing. And this is, Christopher Nolan's version of, you know what I'm saying, any great time travel movie that you've ever seen, which of course dates back to the classic Back to the Future. And the way they do that movie, that's probably the greatest time travel. No, not probably, is the greatest time travel movie of all time is Back to the Future. And so I've seen a million time travel movies. They all kind of follow that similar format. And they take it and put their own spin on it in their movies. And this is Christopher Nolan's version in Tenet. And he did a great job with it. I get the hate this movie gets. When I say I get it, I mean I understand it. That don't mean I agree with it. But I get that this movie was kind of confusing. It came out during the pandemic. It wasn't mixed properly as far as the sound goes. And so it came out at a very bad time. And when the movie came out, the audio wasn't bad. You could hear anytime the action kicked in, it was like really, really loud. Like when people talk, you couldn't really hear what they were saying. And then when the action kicked in, it was so loud that you like, whoa, what the fuck? And so I remember that when this movie dropped, that was one of the big complaints. And I kind of get it because the dialogue explains the movie. Without the dialogue, the movie can be kind of confusing. But in between each action scene, there's dialogue, and it explains everything that's going on within the movie as far as just the ongoing plot. For me, the only part of Tenet that kind of got confusing to me was maybe the very end with the war thing, when they were doing the war. It was so much going on in that scene. I really didn't understand that. And there was no dialogue, I believe, after that to really explain that. It may have been some before it, but it wasn't enough. So, but besides that, the rest of the movie, I pretty much understood. And more recently, there's been a rumor, and I don't know how true this is, but the little boy of the girl that was married to the villain, she had a son. A lot of people are saying that they believe that that's actually, what's his name? Robert Pattinson's character. Like, that's him grown up from the future. And so John David Washington is actually the one who started time travel, and he's the one that recruited him to the time travel agency of people that, fight things and go back in time and stop catastrophes and stuff like that happen. I think that's just really, really cool. Like, I wonder how true that is, but that's one of the things that Christopher Nolan does a great job doing. And Quentin Tarantino did the same thing as well. Maybe he learned it from him or just other great storytellers, but put in certain mysteries in films, like in Pulp Fiction, Quentin Tarantino has the suitcase. You open it up and the gold light shines. Quentin Tarantino for years never told anybody what was in that briefcase. Christopher Nolan has a habit of doing that as well with his movies. He doesn't really explain certain things. He allows people to speculate and talk about movies, and speculation creates curiosity, and it creates people to want to go back and watch the movie again, to find other small details and explain things and come up with more things. It's, everybody gets to be their own special scientist and dissect a movie. And so it's very important as a writer, as a director, to sometimes create little mysteries and never really explain them in the movie, like just little tiny little things. But you want to give people things to debate about and talk about after the movie and rewatch the movie again and again. And so, yeah, man, I'm gonna bring that up again because he does that in other movies. But the speculation that created the whole talk that Robert Pattinson is the son, man, that's wild. And that might end up being true. That might end up really being the son. And so that's just a really great twist to find out. To me personally, I think Tenet is easily 9 at the lowest, man. Tenet was a really great movie, bro. Christopher Nolan doesn't miss. So I disagree with everybody that says Tenet is a bad movie. Go watch it again. They fixed the sound. The dialogue is there. This is a really good movie. So coming in at number 6 is The Odyssey, which I just recently did a review on The Odyssey. If you haven't seen it, go watch it under The Real Review on YouTube, TikTok. Go to my Instagram, Warbucks_DG. Follow me, check out my mono link, and on there you have access to my website as well as my YouTube and my TikTok page. And we got some merch on there for you guys. But yeah, man, The Odyssey just came out recently. Had a pleasure of going to see it the week it dropped. Great movie. The crazy thing about this movie is, before me and my brother saw this movie, I told him, I was like, bro, this movie could be the best movie of the year. This is the movie I'm most anticipated about. He was like, nah, I'm more anticipated to see the Avengers, which I was anticipated to see that as well. But the Avengers and all that is an ongoing Marvel story, whereas The Odyssey is something just not completely new, but it's something we haven't really seen in a while. It's something, and Christopher Nolan spin on that. I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan, so I ain't gonna lie, I was more excited to see this movie than the Avengers, which is crazy. And Doom and Spider-Man, which I consider this part of the Fantastic Four of the year. I'm coining that term. The 4 movies that have the possibility of being the best movies of the year. That's The Odyssey, the new Spider-Man Brand New Day, Doom Part 3, and Avengers. So yeah, man, Doomsday. Super excited. But yes, The Odyssey is part of that Fantastic Four. It was a great movie. I know a lot of y'all was like, dang, I kind of downplayed it in my review towards the end of the movie. well, towards the end of my review, but realistically, this is a great movie, and this is the best movie of the year so far. Christopher Nolan knocked this out the park, man. Um, I only had one small issue with this movie in my review, and I'll say it again here. It was just the dialogue, just at the beginning of the movie, it just seemed a little bit rushed. Like they were talking way too fast. People were answering questions almost immediately after they asked without processing it. It didn't flow right, the dialogue at the very beginning of the movie. But once they got to the scene with Charlize Theron, my bad, with Matt Damon and Anne Hathaway, where they were together, sharing that little love scene, which, by the way, was greatly written. By the way, I felt that was genuine love there. Even when Anne Hathaway's character, she wasn't ready to move on from Matt Damon later on in the movie. Like, you genuinely felt that they did a great job writing that. You genuinely felt the love and bond from them. In that little scene, they did a great job with it. And of course, there were other flashback scenes that showed it as well. You know, Anne Hathaway used to blush when he would do his little bow and arrow trick. And so, yeah, I mean, and for Anne Hathaway did a great job acting in this movie, man. Matt Damon did a great job acting. Robert Pattinson, man, they all knocked it out the park. Robert Pattinson playing this little weasel, cowardly character. He did a great job playing that role. Very believable. You know what I'm saying? Somebody get the beggars out of here. Hilarious. And so a lot of people believe that Tom Holland and Robert Pattinson would probably do like British accents in the movie. Because of the, you know, the story, the Odyssey, and so, but, you know, everybody in the movie was English accents, you know, just American English accents, so not British. But I really enjoyed this movie, man. Greatly written. I mean, from the moment we get to the Cyclops, the movie just takes off in another direction, man. Just the biting off the head, pieces falling out the mouth. That scene was so scary and intense. The scene where Cersei's is changing. And then I'm going to tell you, after seeing the movie, and finding out more things about the movie, I'm also going to go see the movie again in theaters. I have to. This movie is great. If I can see it maybe 2 more times in theaters, I will. But after find out more information about the movie, that there was no CGI used in none of these scenes, that they used camera tricks for the Cyclops, and that was actually like like a doll or something, like not a doll, but like they used some type of something to make the Cyclops look real and look that big. They didn't use any CGI when Cersei's transferred the men into pigs. I was like, yo, like, bro, the directing job that he did on this movie by not using no CGI in the whole movie and giving us these great visuals, incredible job, man. Christopher Nolan outdid himself with this movie. He really, really did. Great movie. And I definitely got to see it some more. I feel like a lot of times when you see a movie for the first time, you're trying to get into it and figure out what's going on. I'm a film buff, so I'm subconsciously studying it and writing things in my head to say in my reviews. But, you know, and a lot of times I used to just know these things naturally anyway, so it's not really hard for me to write it in my head and prepare it for the review. But I think that, you know, that first watch, once you get that out of the way and watch it another time and a couple more times, those watches help you better enjoy a movie, better understand whether you either really like this movie or you really didn't. After that first initial watch, you gotta watch it, study it, figure it out, and then once you get a grips and understanding of the world that you're in, you could really enjoy it. And the fact that this movie was told in a non-linear fashion, like all Christopher Nolan movies, but like it's so non-linear that they have like two current storylines going on and then multiple flashback stories going on. But the movie was very easy to follow. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of his greatest strengths, is telling stories in non-linear fashion, but having them pretty easy to follow, man. Yeah, and Tenet might have a little small weakness of that, and maybe that's why I didn't understand the war scene at the end. But you know, it's a small flaw to me. It doesn't take off enough points to take it more down than a 9. The whole rest of that movie was greatly written and greatly shot. Even the war scene was greatly shot. But The Odyssey, man, top tier cinematography, acting. My brother said it's gonna be a hard movie to beat, and he was more anticipating Avengers and probably Dune too, because I mean Dune's gonna be great as well. I'm excited. But yeah, shout out to The Odyssey, man. You know, I think I gave it a 4. And you know, that's the set rating for the real review, but you know, it's 4 pushing into the 5. It's like 4.5 pushing into the 5, because it is a really great movie. And I think I gave it a 9 out of 10 on IMDb. So yeah, I would say that's about accurate for me. Great movie, man. Almost cracked the top 5. Almost there. Just 5 movies that to me, they're absolutely better than The Odyssey. And number 5 is Dunkirk. And so, yeah, to me, Dunkirk was just like a geniusly told, geniusly shot, non-linear film, showing 3 different perspectives at one time, at different times of the war, and then line them up and connect them in the end. And each scene, each of those 3 shots of the war, those different parts of the war, all carried the same intensity at the same time. When the action picked up in one scene, it picked up in all 3 scenes. I mean, bro, you don't understand how hard it takes for a person to write, let alone shoot this and get this right. Like, Dunkirk is one of the greatest movies of all time. Hands down, the movie is a 10 out of 10. Like, to me, the movie is just geniusly written and directed. Yeah, I hate to say it, but Christopher Nolan has topped Quentin Tarantino when it comes to non-linear storytelling. I'm here to say it. I know Quentin Tarantino's the genius. He made Pulp Fiction and all these other great movies. I respect him. I still think he's one of the GOATs. He's in my top 5 of all time. But with an asterisk there, he ain't made a movie like Dunkirk. That's a very hard non-linear movie to write and direct. Christopher Nolan, man, he is out of here, top dog. Bro, like, Dunkirk is some top-notch, like, camera quality directing and writing at its finest. That movie is not easy to write and direct. So, top tier, bro. Top tier. Yeah. And so, but anyway, that's Dunkirk, man. I don't need to really say any more on that one. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tom Hardy. He was in the movie. He did a great job. And everybody else that starred in that movie. But let's get to the number 4 movie. We in the top Fantastic 4 of Quentin Tarantino's ranking of movies. And number 4 is The Dark Knight. Top-notch movie. I'm sure some of y'all probably like, why you got it at number 1? Well, to me, there's a very small flaw to it. And the small flaw is at the end of the movie with the whole Two-Face thing. Yeah, that's the only reason why I got it this low. I probably would have it even higher. I mean, I just told y'all Batman's my favorite superhero, but Yeah, it's just got that small flaw in there, and there's nothing you can do about it. Heath Ledger died, but it's still a flaw. At the end of the day, I can't overlook it. Every time I watch the movie, I see that scene. It throws the movie off. But of course, the ending after that was really, really great with Batman and him taking a fall for Two Face. All that great, top notch. He's the Dark Knight, so hey, he had to take the fall. I thought it was genius writing. And the little monologue at the end where, you know, uh, what's his name is talking to his son. I thought it was just all great. But yeah. Number 4, The Dark Knight. Heath Ledger, amazing in this movie. Top notch acting. Like every scene with him in it is incredible. The interrogation scene with Batman and him, incredible. Top notch scene. Very well shot and acted by these two. Heath Ledger over here improvising every scene, just killing it. And so, man, I hate R.I.P. Heath Ledger. I hate he had to die after that. And he gave us such greatness before he left. He probably gave us his best performance of his career before he went out. And so, but man, Heath Ledger, man, shout out to you, man. Salute. R.I.P. And yeah, man, great movie, man. By the way, what's his name playing Alfred? Did a great job as Alfred. The jokes, yo, he killed it. He did. He did a great job. Dang, I hate that I forgot his name, man. I gotta say his name in this, because he killed it as Alfred in every single one of these movies. He's a legend. Michael Caine. Yeah, he played Alfie. Yeah, he played the original Alfie. Shout out to Michael Caine, man. Plays in a lot of Christopher Nolan movies, by the way. And I'm not surprised, because he's a British legend in Hollywood, and Christopher Nolan's like the GOAT British director of Hollywood. So of course he gotta have Michael Caine in a lot of his movies, if not all his movies, which clearly he's not in all of them. But yeah, so and Morgan Freeman did a great job as well. Playing that role as the guy that makes a lot of the gadgets for Batman. I never heard of his character before the Dark Knight trilogy. I hadn't. But they made him like now he's a staple character. He must be in some of the comics, or I don't know if it's because he became such a great character in the Dark Knight trilogy that they just all of a sudden made him a real character, because his son is in Batgirl in the DC show. They even got his son in there, and so Fox, couldn't think of his name for a good minute, but Fox, yeah, him. Yeah, that's crazy. Lucius Fox. I'm not sure if he may be in some of the Batman comics. They have a lot of different comics. He could be in one of them. And, Christopher Nolan found him and put him in there. And Morgan Freeman did a great job. He, again, just like Michael Caine, had those great little lines, the little comical lines, very entertaining. You can't just put these older great actors in these roles and they're not gonna kill it with some of these one-liners that I feel like they probably improvised. So shout out to Morgan Freeman, man, one of the GOATs in this acting thing. He killed it. Yeah, The Dark Knight was great, man. Christopher Nolan ups the psychological superhero action. Man, the scene where the Batmobile breaks out into the motorcycle, the scene where the Joker's just sitting there shooting him, and he flies over the crash, and then come to find out, Gordon is still alive, and he pulls the gun on him, and they catch him. The fact that they faked Commissioner Gordon, which By the way, he wasn't even Commissioner Gordon yet. He became Commissioner Gordon in this movie when the Joker killed the commissioner. That, I thought that was fire because we always know him as Commissioner Gordon, and he's just a cop, like a lead detective, all the way up until he becomes the in the Dark Knight. I thought that was really really dope. I think the just little details like that, just little nuances that Christopher Nolan puts in his films. I think that those little details are very important. I like the little things. All the little things make up the big things. So in a script, it's just putting those little details in there. Something I learned from Christopher Nolan, was really really great at uh, paying attention to detail in his scripts and in his scenes. And so Christopher Nolan learned from the best, and so in turn he became the best. So yeah, shout out to that. But yeah, man, The Dark Knight, man, the hospital scene where he blew up the building before he get on the boat, dressed up as the nurse, talking to Two-Face. Christopher Nolan wanted to bring the Joker back to be in The Dark Knight Rises. I think originally he was supposed to come back, but because Heath Ledger died, he had to pivot, and so and I guess that's where Bane comes in. But yeah, man, classic movie, small flawed but classic, great movie. Love The Dark Knight. I think from number 5 up to 1, all 10 out of 10 movies. Like, we dealing with Christopher Nolan. Bro got classics on classic and 10 out of 10s on 10 on 10s, bro. 10 out of 10s on 10 out of 10. So, yeah, man, great movie. Love The Dark Knight. Too many iconic moments in that movie. But anyway, number 3, Memento, which for the longest time I had that as my number 1 movie for Christopher Nolan. And I love that movie. I kind of have a little sentimental value with that movie because that's the first movie where I discovered Christopher Nolan and really started locking in and paying attention to who he was as a writer and director. I started following him. Anytime he wrote anything and directed it, I had to see it. From the moment I discovered Memento. And I got on the Memento late. I think it was an indie film. I had never heard of that film. I think I found it randomly and watched it, and my mind was blown away. The way the story is told in reverse, but then sometimes it's back in the regular order. I just thought it was genius writing. And then to make the beginning has like a surprise ending to the movie, because when you get to the end of the movie, you're at the beginning of the movie. That's the crazy thing about this movie. So greatly told. And then the way it's told, also, you kind of feel it's kind of shot in a way, the perspective of the main character, because he has a memory disorder. He has a disorder where he hit his head or something happened to him where he forgets things. And so you kind of get to see the movie in pieces of the memories kind of broken up, kind of see it the way he sees it, but you remember everything and he doesn't. And so it's just really, really great writing. It is. Man, he killed that role. Guy Pearce, and Christopher Nolan killed the writing and directed of this movie. Yeah, top notch film, man. Top notch. I really, really love that film. Memento is that. If you haven't seen Memento, go watch that movie. Great movie. Or any of these movies on this list, but definitely go check out Memento. Great movie. It's one of those movies you gotta watch over and over again, and you'll be talking about it, trying to figure out this, that, the third. It's really great writing. And the way the scenes are shot, when you see the next scene, it just makes you think about the last scene so much differently. Like, man, when I tell you this movie is genius, The way I'm talking about it almost makes me want to put it at number one again because it's just really top notch writing. I think Memento is just genius. But coming in at number two, we got Oppenheimer. And, great movie. Oh man, this movie blows all his other movies out the water except number one. I mean, Matt Damon, uh, uh, dang, having a brain fog. Cillian Murphy, uh, starring in the movie, who's also played in a lot of Christopher Nolan movies, by the way. He was in Batman Begins, The Scarecrow. Did a great job in that role, man. I should have talked about that in the Batman Begins, but yeah, he killed it in that movie. He did. He did a great job as Scarecrow, one of the villains. But yeah, he did a great job. Robert Downey Jr., just great star power in this movie. Top-notch acting. I mean, man, this gotta be one of the best, like, storytellers of live drama of somebody's life. They even had an Einstein character play Einstein in the movie, who was a very important connection to the movie and why a lot of things happen later on in the movie. Bro, Robert Downey Jr. impressed the hell out of me in this movie because typically Robert Downey Jr., he plays himself. I mean, I think he plays himself in just about everything I've seen him in, but in this movie, he becomes this character. He's not Robert Downey Jr., so he shows some real range. I mean, I think he's a great actor anyway, but he showed some range, some diversity of his great acting in this movie, Oppenheimer. Really great movie. Really great character study movie. Man, there's certain scenes that just really hit me. Great dialogue, great lines. Odyssey had great lines in it too, like quotables that you could quote. The Dark Knight had great quotable lines in it as well. But Christopher Nolan knows how to write some movies and make characters say things that you're gonna remember. Yeah, man. And yeah, man, Oppenheimer is a top-notch film. Top-notch shot, top-notch acted. I mean, just everybody bringing it at the highest quality. Great biography film on him. And a lot of Quentin Tarantino's, Christopher Nolan's characters, a lot of times they're characters that go on these journeys to do things in lives, and a lot of times they end up regretting some of the things that would be considered their biggest triumph, like, Oppenheimer creating that bomb, and all he could think about is the deaths of the people he killed. Odysseus, coming up with the Trojan horse thing. And this was really supposed to be one of the greatest, things to ever do in war, by tricking these people by giving them this horse as a peace treaty, then breaking in and killing them. But Odysseus' character, Matt Damon's character, look back at this and regrets all of that. He thinks what he did was evil. And so, I think Oppenheimer had that same mentality when he got to it. And then when you look at some of his other characters, like, Memento, he's a great example of that. His character is looked at like the good guy, the main character, but that's the thing about that movie. The more you watch that movie, the layers that you put on it as the story progresses, you just realize a lot of these characters in this movie are not what they seem. And I don't want to spoil the movie for you, but his character essentially regrets a lot of things he does, but then does he really in the end? But that's one of the things about a lot of his characters. A lot of them are flawed in certain ways. They are. A lot of them are flawed in certain ways. Even in Interstellar, Uh, Matthew McConaughey's character goes on this journey to save the world, but then he regrets not spending time with his kids growing up, not seeing them grow older. And we get that powerful scene where he cries those real tears as he watches the videos of them growing up and he could be there. Like, I mean, man, em- emotional death, man. That's one hell of a scene. Like, those tears he cried as a father, I can't imagine, man. But yeah, a lot of his characters, they're not perfect characters. They go through turmoil and they go through different things. They make decisions. Sometimes they're not the best decisions. Odysseus, when he shot that Cyclops at the beginning of the movie, that got two more of his men killed. And it possibly pissed off Poseidon and is the reason why the ships uh, were crashing the way they were. And so yeah, man, it's just I highly recommend The Odyssey. And I love the fact that his main characters, a lot of them, not all of them, are flawed. They're not perfect people, because as humans we are like that. And so he kind of makes these characters feel very, very real, like people you can possibly relate to. So last but not least, definitely not, the number one movie of the Christopher Nolan ranking of his films, least the best. Number one, the best movie, in my personal opinion, is Inception, man. Great movie, top tier film, bro. Star Leonardo DiCaprio, Elliot Page, um, uh, oh boy that plays Robin in The Dark Knight. And that's one thing about Christopher Nolan. He reuses a lot of his characters in his other films. He likes working with the same characters again, the same actors again, to play different characters. And so yeah, man, this is a really, really great film. Tom Hardy, Dark Knight Rises, man. Uh, you know, a lot of these really, really great actors come in and really bring it, embody it in his movies. And actually, old boy, who by the way is a great actor, writer and director, who knew that he would come this far? Because I remember when I first saw him, he was in 10 Things About You. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, couldn't think of his name. I remember when he was in 10 Things I Hate About You, which, by the way, I love that movie. My mom put me on that when I was young. Really good movie. But who knew that he would go from playing in those little love comedy little movies growing up to turn around and being like this big time serious actor, writing and directing, his debut movie, which, by the way, I thought that was a great movie that Joseph Gordon-Levitt wrote and directed. He became a big time star after playing in this movie. I don't know if him playing in the movie helped or like got its track, but after this movie, he took off. I mean, he was in literally everything. Don Juan is the movie he wrote and directed. That's his directorial debut. Great movie, by the way. Love that movie. He did a great job writing and directed that movie, but he really took off after that. He really, really did in Hollywood. End up being one of the big time, the big up and coming actors. Haven't really seen him in anything lately. I wonder what happened to that. He was killing it for a while. He was. But yeah, Inception, another star-studded cast. Leonardo DiCaprio was great in this movie. Really great concept. The whole getting inside minds and the whole the way these scenes look, the way these scenes were shot were incredible. That great action fight scene between Joseph Gordon-Levitt and that guy up
Final
against the
written.
wall as they're flipping through the walls, that was really greatly written. The great action in that scene at the end. And honestly, the movie's not hard to follow either, because they jump into a lot of different minds throughout the movie, but it's not that hard to follow what's going on in this movie. It's just really, really greatly written. And at the time, there was this Japanese actor. Is it Ken Watobi or Watusa? Can't think of his name right now, but he's a really good. I love him. He's a really good actor. Watanabe. Yeah, he was Watanabe. He was in The Last Samurai. But yeah, he played, I feel like, yeah, he was in he was in Batman Begins. He was like the fake Ra's al Ghul. And then he was also in this movie. He's one of those actors that Christopher Nolan like to use over and over again. Yeah, yeah, man, great movie, bro. The whole story between Leonardo DiCaprio and his wife, that was wild. That was crazy. Uh, Him on this journey, trying to get back to his family, his kids. That's a like I said, that's a constant cliche thing that he has like maybe two or three,
That tuberous.
maybe four movies of main characters that are going out on journeys trying to get back to where they are. And this is one of those movies, and it creates that really great conversation I was talking about earlier, where the little top spinning at the end of the movie, there's that big debate that he never answers, whether it falls at the end and it's not a dream, or it just keeps spinning and it is a dream. And so you never really know if it was a happy ending or not. And that's one of those things that Christopher Nolan never answers, and he just allows people to talk and converse, and people go back and watch this movie over and over again. And I have done this where I try to pause, I try to watch at the end to see if the top fell or if it kept spinning, because it kind of looks like, to me, it looks like the whole ending kind of looked a little dreamlike. The way he ran off to the kids in slow motion, and Christopher Nolan did that on purpose to play with you mentally, because he wants a lot of people to look at this scene and go, "What the hell? Why does this look so perfect?" And like, this could be not real. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna be real with you. I'm kind of on the side that bottle that top kept spinning. I'm on that side, and I wish for the fairy tale ending that it fell and this was not a dream and he's not inside a head and this is real. But I believe that he's trapped inside of Inception of his mind, and he went home and he's happy with his kids the same way his wife got trapped into the Inception. That's my personal opinion of it. But believe what you want to believe. I'm not here to argue with you about it. I'm just sharing what I thought it was. But I personally think this is probably my favorite Christopher Nolan movie, hands down. It's got everything I love in it, besides probably comedy, but it's got action, really, really great shot scenes, sci-fi. It's got everything that I love from Christopher Nolan in this movie, and I really, really love this movie. It's really rewatchable, very entertaining. The scenes where the world is bending up and all that is really, really cool, really dope, really creative.
Villainous.
It's just great movie, man. Yeah, man, and that's it for my rankings. Christopher Nolan, he might be the GOAT, bro. I'm over here sitting here trying to think. I think I think he's the GOAT. I think also as a person, the little things I've seen that he said about certain things, and he even loves some of the Marvel movies. Like he's not even a hater. Like some of these directors out here, he's not even hating on movies that are made for purely entertainment purposes and not this top-notch cinema, well written. Like everything don't have to be like that. Sometimes people want to turn off their brain and be entertained and just go see a movie and just enjoy it without having to think about this and having to pay attention to every detail. So it's good to see that Christopher Nolan recognizes that he has a little bit of form of entertainment in his films as well. So it's good that he understands that he's not a hater, man. Christopher Nolan is really just him, bro. I think he's the GOAT. He doesn't really miss. He's got, as far as I'm concerned, he's got 12 great movies here that are top-notch movies, all nines into the 10s out of 10. So shout out to Christopher Nolan. You got a lot of classics, got a lot of top-notch movies. Uh, the way you tell stories in nonlinear is super impressive, super genius. Yeah, we love the emotional depth that you put in your movies, man. Keep doing what you do. Can't wait to see your next movie. I know you're gonna knock it out the park. So, yeah, man. You know, man, this is the real review. I'm just a guy that loves to talk about film, man, TV shows and movies. So come talk about them with me, man. Like and subscribe to the real review, man. Out.